This is episode 84. Welcome to Wellness in Every Season, the podcast where we explore the rich tapestry of wellness in all its forms. I'm your host, Autumn Carter, a certified life coach turned wellness coach, as well as a certified parenting coach, dedicated to empowering others to rediscover their identity in their current season of life. My goal is to help you thrive as an individual and as a parent. Welcome everyone to episode 84 of Wellness in Every Season. Today's episode is titled Nurturing Self-Worth Through Effort and Grace, and we have an insightful journey ahead of us. In this episode, we'll explore the delicate balance between striving for our goals and allowing ourselves the grace to be imperfect. You'll discover how this balance can profoundly impact your mental and emotional health, helping you to live a more fulfilled and authentic life. Together, we'll dive into the importance of embracing imperfection, not as a flaw, but as a vital part of your growth and resilience, and my growth too. We'll also discuss how self-worth is an inherent quality that deserves to be nurtured with both effort and grace. You'll learn practical strategies to set clear priorities, practice daily self-compassion, and create space for rest. These life hacks are designed to help you maintain this balance in a way that supports your well-being. I'm excited to introduce you to our coaching question segment, where I'll provide 10 thought-provoking questions to help you reflect, meditate, or journal on your journey of self-discovery and balance. If you are listening while driving, don't worry, you can go back to this part. I listen to podcasts like this while I'm driving, and I just reflect in my head, and I usually don't go back and journal. That's fine too. These questions will guide you in aligning your actions with your values and nurturing your self-worth from within. So get ready for a deep and meaningful conversation that will leave you with actionable insights and a renewed sense of self-compassion. By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools to approach life with both effort and grace, creating space for true fulfillment and growth. Don't miss out. This episode is packed with wisdom and practical tips to help you on your wellness journey. So, welcome to this episode where we dive into the delicate and powerful dance between effort and grace, and how these two elements intertwine with our sense of self-worth. Today, we'll explore what it means to balance the drive to achieve with the compassion to accept ourselves as we are, and why this balance is essential for living a truly fulfilled life. Effort is often seen as the engine that drives us forward. It's the hard work, the perseverance, and the determination to reach our goals. It's what pushes us to keep going, even when the road is tough. And it's the energy we invest in making our dreams a reality. Effort is crucial. It's part of us that says, I can do this, I will do this. But when we are focused solely on effort, without considering the need for rest and reflection, we could easily fall into the trap of thinking that our worth is tied solely to our productivity or our accomplishment. Hope I'm not the only one who's fallen victim to that. And if you have, you're seen. This mindset can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and a sense of inadequacy when we inevitably fall short of perfection. On the other side of this equation is grace. Grace is the gentle voice that reminds us to be kind to ourselves, to accept our flaws and imperfections, and to understand that we are worthy, not because of what we do, but because of who we are. Grace is about giving ourselves the freedom to make mistakes, to rest when we need it, and to embrace the ebb and flow of life without judgment. It's the counterbalance to effort, providing the space for self-compassion and acceptance. Balancing effort and grace is crucial because it allows us to pursue our goals without losing sight of our intrinsic value. When we root our self-worth in effort alone, we risk becoming overextended, chasing achievements to validate our sense of self. This can lead to a life that feels like a relentless race, where peace and contentment are always just out of reach. Conversely, when we lean too heavily on grace without putting in the necessary effort, we might find ourselves stuck, unable to move forward and missing out on the fulfillment that comes from realizing our potential. Self-worth is the thread that weaves effort and grace together. It's the understanding that our value is not contingent on our successes or failures, but on the simple fact that we are enough as we are. When we approach life from a place of balance self-worth, effort becomes a joyful expression of our capabilities. And grace becomes a compassionate space where we can rest, recharge, and reflect. Even saying those words makes my body relax. As a parent of 4 children, I've had to learn to balance this firsthand. And let me tell you, it hasn't always been easy. I remember when I decided to go back to school after starting my family, and I know I talk about it a lot. It was very pivotal in my life. Every return after taking a semester off to have a baby felt like stepping onto a tightrope. On one side, there was the immense effort of juggling motherhood, coursework, and all the responsibilities that come with raising a family. On the other, there was the need to show myself grace, to understand that it was okay if everything didn't go perfectly, and if I needed to take things one step at a time, or even if I had to take a break. The lesson extends into my work as a coach and a business owner. So where am I right now? The demands of running a business, guiding others on their journey, still being present for my family, and taking more care of myself than before to meet the extra demands in my life required me to constantly balance effort and grace. And sometimes not perfectly. I'll be honest there. There are days when the effort feels overwhelming, when it seems like I can never get everything done. I'm sure others are feeling seen right there. But those are the times when grace becomes my saving grace, reminding me that I don't have to do it all at once, that I could take a breath, step back, and trust that I am doing enough. Learning this balance isn't easy, and it requires conscious effort every day. But what I've found is that while it might be difficult to learn, it can become easier to practice with the right mindset and strategies. And that's exactly what we'll be diving into later in this episode. I'll be sharing some tips and techniques that can help you bring more balance into your life, allowing you to embrace both effort and grace in a way that nurtures your self-worth and supports your overall well-being. So stay with me as we explore how to make this delicate balance a part of your everyday life and how it can help you not just survive, but truly thrive. Effort and grit are closely related concepts, often working hand in hand to help us achieve our goals and overcome challenges. While effort is the energy we put into pursuing something, grit is the perseverance and passion that keeps us going, especially when the going gets tough. Both play crucial roles in our journey, particularly when we face obstacles or setbacks. Grit is the inner resolve that pushes you to keep moving forward, even when the path is steep and the progress is slow. It's the quality that enables you to persist in the face of difficulties, to maintain your focus and dedication over the long haul. Grit is what allows you to push through the inevitable failures and frustrations that come with any meaningful pursuit. For instance, when I went back to school after having my children, effort got me through the day-to-day tasks, the studying, the assignments, the balancing act of being a mom and a student. But it was the grit that kept me enrolled semester after semester, even when I was exhausted, when the workload felt overwhelming, and when life threw unexpected challenges my way, like maybe a surprise pregnancy. Grit was the force that helped me get back up each time I had to take a semester off to have a baby, return to the classroom, and push toward my degree. Similarly, in my coaching and business, effort is what drives the creation of content, the planning of sessions, the daily management of everything it takes to keep a business running. And it's a lot more than I expected. It's the grit that keeps me motivated to continue growing, to push through the tough times and stay committed to my vision, even when the outcomes aren't immediate or guaranteed. Balancing effort and grit with grace is where the true challenge lies. While effort and grit are essential for achieving long-term goals and navigating the hardships along the way, they need to be tempered with grace, the ability to be kind to yourself, to recognize when it's time to pause, rest, and reflect. Without this balance, grit can sometimes push us into unhealthy territory where we might neglect our own well-being or ignore signs of burnout in our relentless pursuit of a goal. In the context of self-worth, it's important to understand that while effort and grit are valuable traits, they don't define your worth. Your value is not measured by how hard you work or how much you persevere, but by the fact that you are inherently worthy. Effort and grit can help you achieve incredible things, but grace reminds you that you are enough just as you are, even when you need to slow down or change course. In this episode, as we continue, we'll explore how to cultivate grit in a way that is sustainable and aligned with your overall well-being, ensuring that your pursuit of goals is driven by both passion and self-compassion. We'll also talk about recognizing when it's time to lean into grace, allowing yourself the space to recharge and find joy in the journey, not just the destination. But first, let's have a mindfulness practice. Let's take a moment to ground ourselves in a mindfulness practice that not only centers us, but also invites us to reflect on recent situations in our lives with a sense of curiosity, non-judgment, and grace. So find a comfortable position, whether you're sitting or lying down, and allow yourself to settle in. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Let your body relax, releasing any tension you might be holding in your shoulders, jaw, or elsewhere. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs completely, and then slowly exhale, letting go of any stress or distractions. Keep breathing, and as you bring your attention to your breath, notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest, or the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. Don't try to change your breathing, just observe it as it is. Notice how each inhale and exhale feels. If your mind begins to wander, gently guide your focus back to your breath without judgment. As you continue to breathe naturally, let's move into a brief reflection. Think about a recent situation in your life where you felt challenged, stressed, or perhaps where you felt like you didn't meet your own or others' expectations. As you bring this situation to mind, try to view it through a lens of curiosity. What emotions did it stir in you? What were the underlying thoughts or beliefs driving your actions? Without judgment, simply observe what comes up. Now, let's introduce the lens of grace. As you reflect on the situation, allow yourself to soften any harsh judgments or self-criticism. Recognize that you did the best you could with the resources and awareness you had at that moment. Offer yourself the same compassion you would extend to a dear friend. Acknowledge that it's okay to be imperfect, have moments of struggle, and that these experiences are a natural part of growth. Next, consider how you might approach similar situations in the future. With grace, think about how you can put forth effort in the areas that truly matter to you, those that align with your values and desires, not just the areas where you feel pressured by external expectations. How can you honor your own needs and priorities, and how can you bring more compassion and self-acceptance into these moments? As you ponder this, continue to breathe deeply, allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of clarity and each exhale to release any lingering tension. Remind yourself that moving forward with grace doesn't mean avoiding effort, but rather directing your energy toward what is genuinely important to you. It's about making choices that reflect your true self, rather than just what you think others want you to do. As we prepare to close this practice, bring your awareness back to your breath. Take a few more deep, intentional breaths, feeling the calm and centeredness within you. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room, wiggle your fingers and toes, and slowly open your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. This practice of mindfulness, paired with reflection on recent situations, can be a powerful tool to carry with you. It allows you to approach life's challenges with curiosity, non-judgment, and grace, helping you to make choices that truly resonate with who you are and what matters most to you. Now that we've centered ourselves and reflected on our experiences, let's explore how we can nurture our own self-worth and approach life with both effort and grace. Welcome back. I hope that mindfulness practice helped you center yourself and reflect on your own recent experience with a sense of curiosity, non-judgment, and grace. As we move forward, let's dive into the heart of our discussion, self-worth. Self-worth is a foundational aspect of our well-being, influencing how we view ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we navigate the world around us. It is the intentional sense of being valuable and deserving of love, respect, and kindness, regardless of external achievements or validation. When we talk about self-worth, we're really talking about the core belief that you are enough, just as you are. For many of us, self-worth can be a complex and often elusive concept. It's easy to tie our sense of self-worth to external factors like success, productivity, appearance, or the approval of others. We might find ourselves believing that we are only as good as our last accomplishment or as lovable as the praise we receive. But the truth is, self-worth is inherent. It's not something that needs to be earned or something that we all possess by virtue of being human. In my own journey as a parent, a student, a coach, a business owner, and a wife, and all the other titles, I've had to grapple with understanding and nurturing my self-worth. There are times when I found myself measuring my value by how much I could get done in a day, how successful my ventures were, or how well I was juggling all of my roles. But what I learned, often the hard way, is that tying your worth to these external measures is a recipe for for constant stress and self-doubt. The moment something doesn't go as planned or you don't meet a certain expectation, your sense of self can take a hit. Self-worth isn't about perfection or constant achievement. It's about recognizing that you have value simply because you exist. It's about understanding that you are deserving of love, respect, and compassion, no matter what. This realization can be incredibly liberating. When you embrace your inherent worth, you allow yourself to engage in life more fully without the fear of failure or the need for constant validation. This doesn't mean that effort, grit, and striving for goals aren't important. They absolutely are. But they should stem from a place of knowing that you are already enough, rather than from a need to prove your worth. When your self-worth is strong and secure, you can approach challenges with confidence and resilience, knowing that your value isn't on the line. Practicing self-worth often involves unlearning deeply ingrained beliefs that tell us we need to be more, do more, and have more to be worthy. It's about shifting the internal narrative from one of criticism to one of acceptance. This might involve daily affirmations, setting boundaries to protect your energy, or simply taking time to connect with yourself and appreciate who you are, independent of what you do. For me, cultivating self-worth has also meant embracing grace, allowing myself space to make mistakes, to rest when needed, and to honor my own journey without comparing it to others. It meant recognizing that my value isn't diminished by my imperfections or setbacks, but is instead enriched by the lessons I learned along the way. As we continue this conversation, think about where you might need to strengthen your own sense of worth. Are there areas in your life where you are tying your value to external outcomes or the approval of others? How might your life change if you truly believe that you are enough just as you are? In the next part of this episode, we'll explore some practical ways to nurture your self-worth, helping you live more fully and authentically, grounded in the truth of your inherent value. Next, you are going to hear about some of my programs, and then we will continue on with our conversation around effort and grace. Welcome, dear one. Have you ever felt like your days blur into an endless series of tasks, leaving you longing for moments that nurture both your soul and your family? I understand. You're more than just the center of your home. You're deserving of a life that nourishes your well-being and enriches your spirit, just like you. That's why I'm inviting you to embark on a transformative journey with my diverse range of programs at Wellness in Every Season, turning daily duties into soul-enriching experiences. Picture yourself stepping into your home and feeling peace and joy, not stress. Visualize a household where responsibilities are shared equally, respecting the unique strengths and needs of each family member. In my programs, we delve into what true equality in the home looks like, helping you to create a balanced, joyful family life. My programs are tailored to meet the needs of busy, budget-conscious individuals. Some can be completed in just a couple of hours and start at $7, while others are free and take only a few minutes. For those seeking a more profound transformation, I offer in-depth programs that explore your dreams, desires, and what makes you uniquely you. Self-care is the cornerstone of my approach. Together, we'll discover what true self-care means for you, making it a solid foundation of your daily routine. We'll also focus on making and keeping promises to yourself, fostering a sense of trust and confidence in your ability to honor your own needs and aspirations. All of this happens within a supportive community of like-minded individuals, each on their own path to transformation. As we journey together, we'll focus on recognizing your intrinsic worth, nourishing your relationships, and understanding how creating personal space contributes to a happier, healthier life and partnerships. This is more than a series of programs, it's a comprehensive guide to thriving in every aspect of your life. All these resources are available on demand at wellnessinEverySeason.com. Whether you're interested in reclaiming your time, finding your dream job, or any of my other programs such as parenting, there's something here for you. You can also set up private one-on-one coaching sessions to receive personalized guidance and support. 2 coaching spots have just opened up, and they're waiting for those ready to reclaim their true selves, balance their lives, and fulfill their dreams. Are you ready for this transformation? It's your time to shine. Sign up online at wellnessinEverySeason.com/contact us for a free 60-minute coaching call. Join the waitlist now at wellnessinEverySeason.com for any of my programs, from digital vision boards to personal growth courses to parenting. Your new chapter is just around the corner, and it starts today. My goal is to help you rediscover and return to your true self, find balance amidst chaos, strengthen relationships, and pursue your dreams. Let's thrive together. Now that we've explored the concept of self-worth, let's turn our attention to how balancing effort and grace can significantly impact our mental and emotional health. When we manage to strike this balance, it can lead to a deeper sense of well-being, but when we struggle with it, the effects can be quite the opposite. When effort and grace are out of balance, it can manifest in various ways, often leading to stress, anxiety, and self-criticism. You might find yourself constantly pushing, striving to meet expectations, whether your own or others, and feeling like it's never enough. This relentless drive can quickly lead to burnout, where the joy of pursuing your goals is overshadowed by exhaustion and a sense of inadequacy. On the other hand, if you find yourself leaning too heavily into grace without putting forth effort, it can sometimes result in feelings of complacency or a lack of fulfillment. This imbalance might cause you to avoid challenges altogether, fearing failure, or believing that you're not capable of more. While grace is essential for self-compassion, it needs to be balanced with effort to ensure that you continue growing and evolving. Recognizing these signs of imbalance is crucial for maintaining your mental and emotional health. When you start to notice heightened stress, persistent anxiety, or a growing sense of self-criticism, it might be a sign that you're leaning too much into effort and not allowing yourself enough grace. Something that I notice in myself, at least. Conversely, if you feel stagnant or unmotivated, it could be a sign that you need to re-engage with effort, reminding yourself that it's okay to challenge yourself and take risks. Nurturing both effort and grace allows for a more balanced and fulfilling life. It creates a space where you can strive toward your goals while also being kind to yourself along the way. This balance supports your overall well-being by reducing stress, enhancing resilience, and fostering a sense of inner peace. A big part of achieving this balance is learning to embrace imperfections. This means allowing yourself to make mistakes, to have off days, and to recognize that growth often comes from these experiences. Imperfection isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's a natural part of the human experience. When you accept your imperfections with grace, you open the door to learning and growth. This perspective helps you to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats, and reduces the pressure to be perfect all the time. Embracing imperfection also means being patient with yourself, understanding that progress is not always linear, but that setbacks are a normal part of any journey. It's about giving yourself permission to be human, to feel tired, to make wrong decisions, to not have all the answers, and knowing that these moments do not diminish your worth. As we continue this discussion, I promise that in our next segment, our life hack segment, we'll dive into some common pitfalls that people encounter when trying to balance effort and grace, along with practical strategies to avoid them. We'll explore how you can apply these principles in your daily life so you can maintain this balance in a way that supports your mental and emotional health and nurtures your overall well-being. Stay with me as we move forward because these life hacks can make a big difference in how you approach your day-to-day challenges. Welcome to our life hack segment where we'll dive into some practical tips and strategies to help you balance effort and grace in your everyday life. This balance is essential for maintaining your mental and emotional health, and today we'll focus on avoiding common pitfalls while nurturing this delicate equilibrium. Life hack 1. Recognize perfectionism. One of the most common pitfalls is perfectionism, the belief that you must do everything flawlessly or not at all. Perfectionism can drive you to put in excessive effort, often at the expense of your well-being. It's important to recognize that this mindset is creeping in. Ask yourself, is this really about doing my best, or am I trying to avoid criticism or failure? Remember, perfectionism isn't the goal. Progress is. Give yourself permission to do things well enough rather than perfectly, and allow room for mistakes. Mistakes are not failures. They're opportunities for learning and growth. Life hack number 2, set clear priorities. Another key to balancing effort and grace is knowing where to focus your energy. It's easy to get caught up in the tasks and obligations that don't align with your true priorities, often because of external pressures or expectations. Take some time to clarify what matters most to you, whether it's spending quality time with your family, pursuing a personal passion, or maintaining your health. Once you've identified your priorities, let them guide your decision. Focus your efforts on what truly resonates with you and allow yourself to let go of the things that don't serve your goals or values. This not only helps in managing your time and energy, but also reinforces your self-worth by aligning your actions with your authentic self. Life hack number 3, practice self-compassion daily. Self-compassion is the cornerstone of grace. It's the practice of being kind to yourself, especially in moments of struggle or failure. To cultivate self-compassion, try to talk to yourself as you would a close friend. When you face challenges, instead of being self-critical, offer yourself words of encouragement and understanding. Incorporating daily self-compassion practices such as affirmations, journaling, or simply taking a few minutes to breathe and acknowledge your efforts can make a significant difference in how you handle both success and setbacks. Remember, self-compassion isn't about letting letting yourself off the hook. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and respect you would offer to others. Life hack number 4, build in regular reflection time. Creating time for regular reflection allows you to assess how well you're balancing effort and grace in your life. Set aside a few minutes each day or at least once a week to check in with yourself. Ask questions like, am I pushing too hard? Am I being too lenient with myself? What have I learned from this week's challenges? This reflection time is not about criticizing yourself, but rather about observing your patterns and making adjustments as needed. It's a way to ensure that you're staying aligned with your values and not veering too far in either extreme or overexertion or complacency. Life hack number 5, embrace good enough as a win. Sometimes the best way to balance effort and grace is to redefine what success looks like. In many situations, striving for good enough can be more sustainable and satisfying than aiming for perfection. This doesn't mean settling for mediocrity, it means recognizing that life is full of variables, and sometimes good enough is a healthy, realistic, and successful outcome. Someone once told me to strive for B+ work. Having that letter grade, because I was in college recently, 2 years ago, really helped me to figure out, okay, this is what I need to be striving for, is more this, and knowing that it's kind of thinking about it in that marriage aspect, that giving your 100% in a relationship isn't always going to be 50-50. So your 100% one day to the next is different. So giving 80 is going to look different from one day to the next. And you're going to embrace the idea that doing your best with the time and resources you have is a victory in itself. This shift in mindset can reduce stress and increase your sense of accomplishment and help you maintain a healthier balance in your efforts. Life hack number 6, create space for rest and recovery. Finally, remember that rest is not a reward, it's a necessity. Building in regular periods of rest and recovery is essential for sustaining your efforts over the long term. Whether it's taking short breaks throughout the day, that's what I do, ensuring you get enough sleep, and I'm looking at the clock right now, I need to be doing that, or setting aside time each week for activities that rejuvenate you. Rest is what allows you to recharge and return to your tasks with renewed energy and focus. Without sufficient rest, even the most passionate efforts can lead to burnout. And what I've noticed, if I'm staying up too late to work on something, I usually have to redo it the next day when I have rested. Embrace rest as an integral part of your routine and allow yourself to enjoy it without guilt. These life hacks are designed to help you maintain a balance between effort and grace, balancing both your mental and emotional health. By recognizing and avoiding common pitfalls, setting clear priorities, and practicing self-compassion, you can cultivate a more fulfilling and sustainable approach to your goals. Remember, it's not about doing more or being perfect. It's about doing what matters most to you in a way that honors your well-being and your worth. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's take a moment to tie everything together. Balancing effort and grace is a journey, not a destination. It's about finding a sustainable way to pursue your goals while honoring your well-being and maintaining a strong sense of self-worth. The life hacks we discussed, recognizing and addressing perfectionism, setting clear boundaries, setting clear priorities, practicing self-compassion, building in regular reflection time, embracing good enough, and creating space for rest are all practical strategies to help you achieve this balance. A crucial part of this balance is embracing imperfection. Life isn't about getting everything right all the time. I wish I could tell my younger self that. It's about allowing yourself the freedom to make mistakes, to have off days, and to recognize that growth often comes from these experiences. I realize that now. Imperfection is not a flaw. It's a natural and necessary part of being human. By embracing imperfection, you give yourself permission to learn and grow, to adapt and change, and to approach life with a more compassionate and understanding mindset. This perspective allows you to see challenges not as failures, but as opportunities to deepen your resilience and expand your capabilities. At the heart of balancing effort and grace is understanding that your self-worth is not dependent solely on achievements or productivity. Self-worth is an inherent quality that each of us possesses simply by being who we are, and we are all unique. It's not about something that needs to be earned through relentless striving. It is something that deserves to be nurtured through both effort and grace. When you can hold on to this truth, you cultivate a sense of self-worth that is resilient, compassionate, and balanced. This inner strength allows you to face life's ups and downs with a steady heart, knowing that your value is not tied to any one success or failure. As you move forward, keep in mind that self-worth is the foundation upon which this balance is built. When you truly believe that you are enough just as you are, you can navigate life's challenges with confidence and resilience. You can put forth effort where it counts, and you can offer yourself grace when it's needed. This balance not only supports your mental and emotional health, but also leads to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Now, as we transition to our next segment, I'd like to introduce you to something that may be new if you are a first-time listener, and welcome you to our coaching questions segment. This is a time where I'll offer you a series of questions designed to help you reflect more deeply on the topics we've discussed. These questions are meant to guide you in your personal journey of balancing effort and grace while nurturing your self-worth. You can think about these questions, meditate on them, or even journal your thoughts and feelings as they come up. Take your time with them. There's no rush, and the insights you gain can be incredibly valuable. Here are the 10 coaching questions for you to consider. Where in your life do you find yourself striving for perfection, and how is it affecting your well-being? What areas of your life could benefit from more grace and self-compassion? How do you typically respond to setbacks or mistakes? How might embracing imperfection change that response? What does self-worth mean to you, and how do you currently measure your own worth? In what ways are you tying your sense of self-worth to external achievements or others' approval? What are your core values, and how can you align your efforts with these values rather than external pressures? You create more space for rest and recovery in your life, and what would that look like for you? When was the last time you acknowledged your own growth, even if it came from a difficult or imperfect experience? How can you remind yourself daily that you are enough just as you are? What steps can you take to balance your drive to achieve with the grace to accept yourself in the process? These questions are here to support you in your ongoing journey. Feel free to revisit them whenever you need to and use them as a tool to deepen your understanding of yourself and the balance you seek to cultivate in your life. Whether you choose to think about them, meditate on them, or journal your responses, these questions can help you explore your inner landscape and bring more clarity to your path forward. And you can find these in written format, which sometimes is easier when you really need to dive in and meditate on something, on my website, com/podcast. In episode 84, titled Nurturing Self-Worth Through Effort and Grace, we embarked on a journey to explore the delicate balance between striving for our goals and allowing ourselves the grace to be imperfect. Together, we delved into the profound impact that balancing effort and grace can have on our mental and emotional health. And we discussed the importance of embracing imperfection as a natural part of our growth. Throughout the episode, we reflected on how self-worth is an inherent quality that doesn't depend on our achievements or productivity, but deserves to be nurtured with both effort and grace. We also explored how recognizing and addressing perfectionism, setting clear priorities, practicing daily self-compassion, and creating space for rest are essential steps in maintaining this balance. We also introduced our new coaching questions segment for those who are new here, offering 10 thought-provoking questions designed to help you reflect, meditate, and journal on your journey of self-discovery and balance. These questions are meant to guide you in aligning your actions with your values and nurturing your self-worth from within. As we wrap up, here's the nugget of wisdom to carry with you. Your worth is not defined by what you do or how perfectly you do it. It's rooted in who you are. When you approach life with both effort and grace, you create space for true fulfillment and growth. Remember, you are enough, just as you are. Thank you for joining me on Wellness in Every Season. Remember to take time to heal, relax, and be present. Next week, we'll be talking about post-divorce recovery with Sherelle. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. I am your host, Autumn Carter, a certified life coach dedicated to empowering individuals to rediscover their identity, find balance amidst chaos, strengthen relationships, and pursue their dreams. My goal is to help people thrive in every aspect of their lives. I hope today's discussion inspired you and offered valuable insights. You can work one-on-one with me or on demand through one of my programs by visiting wellnessinEverySeason.com/programs. Stay engaged in our wellness community by signing up for my newsletter at com/free-resources. When you join, you'll have the option to receive a 5-day guide called Awaken and Unwind, 5 days to master your mornings and evenings, along with free guides, special offers on my programs, practical tips, personal stories, and much more. So sign up and share it with others. I put a lot into it, and that's where you will find me showing up the most. Don't miss these valuable resources designed to help you thrive in every area of wellness in every season of life. Join today and start your journey to wellness in every season. Your shares, subscriptions, or reviews for this podcast help us reach more people seeking empowerment. So please spread the word about our podcast. Thank you for being a part of our podcast community, and I look forward to continuing our conversation, sharing stories, and exploring wellness in all its aspects. One last thing to cover the show legally. I am a certified life coach and a certified parenting coach, giving general advice. I have a bachelor's in applied health, so I use that for the wellness aspect. So think of this more like a self-help book. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. I am not a licensed therapist, so this podcast shouldn't be taken as a replacement for professional guidance from a doctor or therapist. Because I don't know you personally, I'm not offering you personal advice. This is very general. If you want personal one-on-one coaching, go to my website, wellnessinEverySeason.com. That's where you can get personalized coaching from me or you. I will see you in next week's episode. Bye. One last thing to cover this show legally. I am a certified life coach giving general advice. So think of this more like a self-help book. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, so this podcast shouldn't be taken as a replacement for professional guidance from a doctor, therapist, or any other qualified expert. If you want personal one-on-one coaching from a certified coach, go to my website at wellnessinEverySeason.com. That's where you can get personalized coaching from me. See you in next week's episode.